Sonny Parker, owner of Family Firearms, and every day we are battling those in Washington who are trying to take away our Second Amendment rights, and we're extremely thankful for men like Congressman Barry Moore, who are willing to go to war for us and to stand up for our Second Amendment rights and to battle those that continue to take those away from us. And today he is here to introduce some new gun legislation that's very interesting. And we appreciate him coming down to Family Firearms and kicking off this announcement. And I will let him take the reins. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for what you do. So I want to thank everyone for being here, and certainly for the media and the members of the public showing up. I see some of my old friends and supporters here. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. And I'd certainly like to thank Family Firearms and Sonny for hosting me this afternoon. The right to bear arms was so important to our founders that it was listed second in our Bill of Rights. But the radical left does not care about constitutional rights when it conflicts with their anti-Second Amendment agenda. Protecting our constitutional rights, all our constitutional rights, is literally the job description of a congressman. And I take that job very serious. It's my job to protect your liberty and your freedom. I see that as the priority of why I do what I do and what we as members of Congress should be doing. But some pro-Second Amendment folks who might not own an AR might think banning or limiting them is no big deal. But just like a camel sticking its nose under the tent, any watering down of rights already guaranteed will enable the anti-Second Amendment crowd to take away even more of your rights. This group won't stop until they take away all of the rights that we consider given to us by the Constitution and by our Creator and our Maker. One rule to remember: any government that would take away one right would take away them all. That's why we are here today, to protect the rights, all the rights that you and I enjoy. But first, I want to talk about the bill that I'm unveiling today. For nearly 2 decades, unconstitutional and un-American anti-gun groups have specifically targeted the AR-15, despite it being a cornerstone of American culture for over 60 years. If a specific firearm is synonymous with the term Americana, then it would be the AR-15. My bill, the AR-15 National Gun Act, would simply write that into law, designating the AR-15 style rifles chambered in the 5.56 or the 223 as the national gun of the United States. The AR-15 has been a quintessential piece of Americana for over 6 decades. This bill would recognize its most common configuration as our country's national gun. Why is that important? Because the Second Amendment is as American a right as freedom of speech, or religion, or even the press. Father, we need to send a message to the American public that weakening the Second Amendment will likely increase that other rights will be taken as well. The Second Amendment rights are worth protecting and must not be infringed. And we must send a message that we will meet every attack on our constitutional rights head on. The Biden administration is skilled in using bureaucracy to restrict our Second Amendment. It isn't gun owners whose rights are being attacked, but it's gun store owners as well. The Biden administration is doing all it can to restrict gun sales and drive folks like Family Firearms out of business. Particularly the new ATF's pistol brace rule that creates a new class of criminals out of law-abiding citizens without Congress passing a single new bill. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. The Second Amendment is under attack like never before, so it's important for us to raise awareness of how it is being targeted and to reinforce support for the protection of all our constitutional rights. I'm proud to announce today that my introduction of the AR-15 National Gun Act here in my district, and I pledge to do everything I can in Washington to fight to protect the Second Amendment rights. With that, I'll open up to questions for anyone in the meeting. Done a pretty good job. No questions?
Are you delivering a separate message at your office here, or is it similar?
Yeah, we're going to be really talking about today at the office as we do the ribbon cutting, more so about customer service and how we serve the district. In other words, if you're a veteran, you have issues with the IRS, any government agency, So opening an office in Troy, I think it'll be the first time a congressional office has been in Troy. We have one in Dothan, obviously, Andalusia, Wetumpka. So we're just making sure that we're available for the district. And so today we'll be just celebrating the opening of that office, letting people know where we are, and inviting folks to come by if they have any kind of issues they need. In other words, take Veterans Affairs. I think, what's our count, Elena? Do you know how many we've solved veterans issues? We've been in office about 25 months. We're a little over 2,600 cases.
Yeah, totals about that.
And I can't tell you how much money back pay for veterans we've been able to raise and get back to the government of the people. So we're just going to do that today, kind of let people know where we're at and announce that as well, being in Troy since we're up here today. So that's kind of the plan right now. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
Go ahead.
I didn't have one, I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask you, yes, so I know you're here obviously to, show your support for protecting the Second Amendment. What would you say to your constituents who don't feel safe with more guns being available?
Well, I just think you have to look at the nation and the history. The areas where we took guns from American citizens are the same areas they wanted to defund the police. And they tell you, well, we'll take your guns, but call the police. And then those same people are trying to defund the police. So we're putting American citizens in harm's way in these cities where they don't have a right to defend themselves. I've been in countries where you don't have a right to carry a weapon. And I've had times that I was really concerned about our own safety. And so it's allowed Americans to defend themselves. And like I said, the same people that tell you you don't need a gun to defend yourself and call the police will turn around and tell you, well, we're going to defund the police. And so it puts American citizens at harm. And you're seeing crime rates in those cities go through the roof. And then those DAs release those people with a slap on the wrist. There's no deterrent at all to protect American citizens. So we have to be willing to protect ourselves. It's a good question, though. You do get that. Anything else? That was easy enough. Any more? Sir, we're good. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys for coming. I
I
appreciate
do
it.
have one more question.
Yes,
I
go
can
ahead,
ask
go
you.
ahead.